It's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and in today's lesson I'm going to show you how to play Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding. This is a super classic strummer, and we're just going to do basic chord shapes, strumming pattern. There's a few sections here. Nothing's super tricky. There is a bar chord at one point, but I'll show you how we can avoid it using a simpler shape. If you need any help following along with the tune, I do have a chart available for this on my Patreon. And if you need any help with any of the stuff in this song, I have some courses. I'll put links to all that stuff down below. Anyways, let's just jump right in and take a look at the chord shapes needed to play through the verse. First, we have a G. Then we have B7. And when switching from G to B7, if you play G this way, which I highly recommend for this particular song, different songs, you might play G that way. There's always a scenario where each one is the best choice. In this case, I feel this one's the best choice because when we're switching to B7, all we have to do is take our chord shape, move it to the side. Then we take these two fingers, we put them up here, and then we take this finger and we move it up here. So it's actually a really similar chord shape, and after a while, if you follow those steps, you move it, move it, move it. After a while, you can kind of do that all together, pivoting off of this finger. You kind of just slide it down and you can make the shape. Let's just try that out a little bit. After that, we have a C chord and then A7. And switching from C to A7 like this, super duper easy. There's a few ways to play A7, but we'll play it this way. Starting off on C, we leave our middle finger down, and then we just put our ring finger right underneath it, 2 strings underneath it, on the B string at the 2nd fret. And the verse is just those 4 chord shapes. So before we move on and learn everything we need for the whole tune, let's actually take a moment to practice those using downstrokes only, just so we can get the switching and play each chord the right amount of time. Starting off on G, 1, 2, 3, 4. B7, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. Now, just a quick side note here, if you're interested in learning how to play and sing at the same time, and you're just having trouble putting it all together, it's a really good idea to do what we just did, downstrokes only, as you sing. Because that way we're taking the rhythm element out of it, and you can kind of, put the song together, right? Just by simplifying it. Anyways, once you are able to do that, just play through those, counting out 1, 2, 3, 4 for each chord shape. We can add the strumming pattern. And for this one, we're going to use the most common strumming pattern ever. It goes like this. I'll do it a little bit slower. 3 and 4 and. And I've talked a lot about this strumming pattern because it's in so many tunes. I've taught it like a billion times. I have a lesson down below if you need extra help with it. But really quickly, my best advice for this one is to learn how to say it first. Learn to say down, down, up, miss, up, down, up, and be able to say that over and over again. It's a lot easier to say it. We've all been talking for a really long time. You should be better at talking than playing guitar. I know I am. So learning to say it, just down, down, up, miss, up, down, 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 up, miss, up, down, up. And then it's just a matter of telling your hand to do that. Down, down, up, miss, up, down, up. You could even mute the strings. Down, down, up, miss, up, down, up. Just taking it at your own pace. And I also have my complete beginner's course, which is designed to teach you everything it takes to play songs exactly like this. Anyways, take a minute with that strumming pattern, take a minute with those chord shapes, because now we're going to put them together. We're going to play the strumming pattern 1 time per chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, before we move on and learn the rest of the song, I just want to talk a little bit more about strumming. If you listen to the recording at the very beginning, you can hear the acoustic guitar really clearly, and it is playing the way that we are, nice and slow, just boom, bum, 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 bum. But as soon as the singing kicks in and the whole band comes in, the guitar changes to a way faster pattern. It goes like... And really quickly, I'm going to show you that strumming pattern just in case you're curious. But I feel that the way that I've already shown you is that's what I would do if I were playing and singing. You know, even though I could play either of them just as easily, I feel like that second one is too active unless you are playing with a band, unless there is a lot more going on. You know, it just gets too funky for a solo performance. Anyways, that strumming pattern goes like this. So that's down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. And I would learn that as two separate strumming patterns. First, down, 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 up. Down, 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 up. And then the second half, down, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up. And just practice those each half and then put it together. I'll do it one time super slowly, counting out loud. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So that strumming pattern is twice as dense. So I had to switch to 16th note counting. Instead of counting 1 and 2 and, I'm counting 1 E and a 2 E and a. So I can add all those extra little strokes. Anyways, if that's up your alley and you're up for the challenge, go for it. Otherwise, we're going to take a look and learn the rest of the tune using our simple strumming pattern. Next up, we have the chorus, and the chorus is going to go from G to E a couple times, then G to A7, and that's it. It's pretty simple. So just work on those switches, going G to E major, and then G to A7. Once again, if you need help with chord switching, I have a bunch of resources down below, but just take your time with each of those switches, and when you're ready, we're going to put those together with the strumming pattern. If you don't feel like you're ready, you can always just watch this part, see what's going on, and then rewind the tape and try it with me right after. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Now I have one more part to show you before we put this whole thing together. It's the bridge. We're going to need an F chord for the bridge. So we can play it as a bar chord, or we can play it as an easier shape. The easy version of F, we skip the first string, first finger, first fret, middle finger, second fret, then my pinky finger on the 3rd fret, and my ring finger on the 3rd fret. Mute the thickest string by putting your thumb over it. The highest string should be muted by the underside of your first finger. So we just have the middle 4 strings. Mute, 3, 3, 2, 1, mute. Alternatively, if you're up for the challenge, you could do the F bar chord. I'd prefer that because it gives you a nice low F bass note. And if you need more help with bar chords, I have a course, Barre Chords Made Easy, designed to make the process as easy as possible. So you can check that one out down below as well. Anyways, let's take a moment and play downstrokes only, just so we can figure out the switches and how long we're playing each chord for. We're going to start off on G. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Again, one more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, G, 2, F, 2, 3, 4, D. So we're splitting some measures and we're only playing 2 beats for our G chord, 2 beats for our D chord, and that means we have to change up the strumming a little bit. So anytime you see a chord shape with just 2 slashes underneath it, like when we go G2, D2, do down, down, up. So down, down, up, down, down, up. And then since C has 4 slashes under it, that's enough time to do our complete strumming pattern. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Just practice that a little bit, you know, just getting used to changing the strumming a tiny bit as we go through those shapes. Otherwise, when you're ready, we're going to practice this together nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the bulk of the tune. The only thing we haven't taken a look at are the intro and the outro. The intro is super simple. It's just G with the strumming pattern 4 times. And now the outro is 3 measures of G, so the strumming pattern 3 times on G, and then 1 measure of E. So 1, 2, 3, 1, and then again. So those are all the components of the song. All we have to do now is put it all together. And if you need extra help with this phase of it, I have the chord chart available on my Patreon. This is where it's going to be the most effective. The order of it all, it's going to go intro, then verse, chorus, second verse, second chorus, bridge, third verse, third chorus, and then the outro. So it's basically just verse, chorus a few times. The bridge is in there. You know, it's really simple. Once again, if you need help putting that together, we have the whole chord chart. Now I'm going to play through each of the sections just so you can get used to transitioning between the sections. Starting off with the verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming into the bridge. And if you can play along with that, you're totally ready to try playing along with the original recording. It's just a matter of repeating some of the sections. Remember, the intro is just the G chord, and the outro is 3 measures of G with 1 measure of E. If you need any extra help and you'd like to support the channel, I have a bunch of resources down below. I'd love if you'd take a moment to check those out. Otherwise, feel free to ask any questions in the comments below. You could even email me, info@goodguitarist.com. Have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.